how to expand, and I don't see the representative here, which were due to attend, but never mind. Yeah, this is what I
Recording in
yes.
progress.
So it is a Georgian bank, and everyone know about them. But how they started from the day one as a digital bank, and then the smart move from them was to acquire, not to develop internally, but to acquire parts of the ecosystem. And today they have 20 million users in their system. Just think, for any of the ordinary, not digital bank, just think, it sounds like a dream. 20 million users. And they are growing rapidly as well. And as we know, their shares were bought by Goldman Sachs and by BlackRock. So they are very widely recognized. And another fintech company, which I also want to mention, is Click. And their story that from the day one, they opened as a fintech company, as an SMS operator. And they found a completely different route, when for years they were building up the ecosystem. And then, as you know, this year, they have a major transaction with well-known also Kazakh bank, Halyk. And Halyk bought 49% for the price of 148 million. And it also, now it counts to 21 million users. So more or less, these three businesses achieved the same level of the users. Of course, it's some of you can ask the question, yes, maybe it could be doubled, but more or less in the average, they have achieved tremendous success. And what could help to the regional bank to develop this ecosystem? If you look at this, and we just heard that the central bank and Ministry of Technology is working on allowing technologically this to happen, is open APIs. Because without open APIs, it would be very difficult to build the ecosystem when everyone, because it is very difficult to build parts of the system on your own. It's much more beneficial, as three previous cases showed, to use what somebody have built. And you just mentioned scoring. And if this scoring and data would be shared, this would give more opportunities to the economy and to the participants of the ecosystems which use it. And then we talk about partnerships, as well as many of you know, building the right partnership, if you're smart, this is what gives the value to your business. And having relied on the agreements which you have, and as TBC have proven with their acquaintances that it works. And then modularity, that the traditional banks are working as a core system, but if you rebuild your system and you can use microservices, it gives you the opportunity to divide your services and share them. And this also helps to developing the ecosystem. And then culture. By culture, I mean not only culture, but the teams which work. And the success stories of all three of them, that they allow to their team to develop the MVP. And it is actually very bad if you don't develop the hypothesis And if it works, they have the limits of the time. This is their business model, that the teams are given the limits of the time when they can explore the idea, and if this idea works, it goes into the action immediately. And this saves a lot of money, but you cannot be punished for the mistake. If you develop the hypothesis, it's very good with the next 2 or 3 weeks to know that it didn't work, but at least you tried, and continue with the new hypothesis. And it was one of the major, this is what people internally say, this is one of the major factors which helped them. And then, in a few words, I wanted to talk about small and medium enterprises. In Uzbekistan, they generate 50% of GDP, and it is well known, not only for Uzbekistan, but for Central Asia, that small and medium enterprises are not served as they could. And this could generate a lot of opportunities, because imagine if the banks would be able to help to the enterprises, small companies, to manage their finances better. And if you could increase, it would lead to the increase of GDP. So we have created with our team, we are working on this platform, CFO.uz, when you could have yes, I know that, 1 second. When you could, you create the accounting and financial management absolutely paperless, because this system is based on e-invoicing, and in 1 minute you can create the accounting for the small company over the annual operation. So this is part of the ecosystem which could help to banks to manage the finances of their clients better way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vera. So, hello. We are like 30 minutes before coffee break where we can talk to each other, but now we have 4 great speeches that will be from the practical advices from our colleagues. At first will be Timur Norov, SQB Bank. Timur, please. He will tell us about how no-code platforms can evolve and help every bank to succeed. So, Timur Norov, Chief Business Officer of SQB Bank. He will be in Russian.
Ассаламу алейкум. Рад вас всех видеть. Хотел бы познакомить с нашим банком, что мы делаем, какие изменения, как мы работаем с платной. Во-первых, хотел бы познакомить вас с нашей экосистемой, что мы развиваем касательно ДБО, касательно мобильного приложения. Вот. То, что принадлежит нам, вот SQB бизнес, помогаем касательно онлайн-кредитования, онлайн-депозитов. То, что мы сейчас активно внедряем, показали, вот открытие онлайн-счетов, онлайн-онбординг, скоро мы запустим. Кроме этого, онлайн-кредитование для ММБ клиентов активно развиваем, для ИП, управление онлайн-тарифами уже запустили. Кроме этого, показали свою экосистему. Сейчас активно развиваем и мобильное приложение SQB Mobile, где мы запускаем аналог для Клика, для PayMe и для PayNet, SQB Bill, где мы можем предоставлять все сервисное обслуживание для наших клиентов, уважаемых клиентов. Кроме этого, запустили системы BNPL, Buy Now Pay Later. Можете активно воспользоваться этими нашими услугами. И если вы в курсе, первым мы запустили онлайн золотой депозит, наверное, воспользовались. И всех приглашаем, чтобы вы использовали наши услуги. Кроме этого, Клиент для нас главный фокус, поэтому мы сейчас активно притягиваем в нашу экосистему разных контрагентов. Кроме этого, сейчас внедряем искусственный интеллект в нашу экосистему, развиваем SCT-платформу, TTS-платформу, Text-to-Speech, Speech-to-Text, чтобы наши уважаемые клиенты не ждали и как бы на свои вопросы моментально как бы получали свои ответы. И Customer Overview и Customer Single View у нас все было на одном месте. Активно развиваем платформу Data Warehouse, активно развиваем Knowledge Base, базы знаний. И этим как бы хотим, чтобы уменьшить ожидание, время ожидания наших клиентов и быстро как бы предоставлять все эти наши услуги. Кроме этого, как мы уже, как я говорил, в 2018 году была активная фаза трансформации в нашем банке. С этих как бы времен активно сейчас развиваем как бы agile коммуникацию, Scrum коммуникацию, Kanban. И этим как бы пользуемся во всех бизнес-подразделениях. И у нас имеются трайбы разные, разные продуктовые аналитики, как бы продуктовики, продукт-оунеры. И показываем, как бы, наверное, это нам помогло, чтобы выйти быстро на рынок касательно time-to-market и предоставляем разные услуги. Дополнительно касательно искусственного интеллекта, все банки уже начали развивать эту платформу. Наш банк запустил касательно искусственного интеллекта AML-платформу. Сейчас система AML активно работает на нашем банке. Кроме этого, сейчас начали по collection и мониторинг кредитов, по OCR, по ETL-платформам, Robotic Process Automation уже было внедрено у нас. А уже то, что мы сейчас на данный момент делаем, это модели ML, Machine Learning, речевая аналитика, то, что я уже озвучивал, автоматизация исполнительного блока. Вот это на данный момент в первом приоритете у нас персонализированное ценообразование. Это как бы risk-based pricing, risk-based limit и проверка анализа юридических договоров, прогнозирование наличности в банкоматах, кэш-менеджмент. И исходя из этого как бы будем предлагать. То, что мы начали с уважаемой компанией Платма, сейчас предлагать разные мониторинговые услуги касательно искусственного интеллекта, где клиенту мы можем помогать, как бы, когда у него как бы уменьшились наличные средства, мы будем предлагать им разные продукты. Если у него как бы имеются наличности, которые он не пользуется, можем предлагать разные продукты по накоплению своих средств. Спасибо за внимание. Спасибо.
Thank you. So let's continue in English, and today we have three more speakers that will introduce their experience, two more speakers that will introduce their experience, and the first one is Krešimir Šuljak. Krešimir is the sales director of ASE. He is the ace of SME and bank development, how to provide for banks great digital solutions, like throughout the world, right? How many banks like in your portfolio? More than 300 banks. Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Anat. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for these nice words. Yeah, but you didn't mention that you came a couple of times and asked me, can you make it shorter? Because we are 30 minutes behind the schedule, and it's not 3, but 2 more presenters, since I will be doing the last one. And it's challenging, of course, to be in this last slot before the coffee break and when we are half an hour behind the schedule. But I'll try to make it concise and try to make it short and to send a message, few messages. Yaroslav, the lady from CFO, Timur, they all use these words like future, innovation, accelerator. I think my presentation is also full of these words. but let's try to make it practical. So I will talk about the product that can help to shape the bank of future, Bank 6.0, with practical outcomes. So let's start with the fact. The fact is that the Central Bank of Uzbekistan strongly recommends that all the banks should allocate at least 25% of its loan portfolio to SMEs. And is it just a recommendation? Or we can look at it from a different angle and say it's a national development strategy, since SMEs make up more than 50% of the economy, as we heard, and yet they still face barriers when trying to access the finance. And the question is, how can banks profitably serve this segment at a scale? So let's see how. Of course, there will always be a challenge or a couple of challenges, and it's complexity versus capacity. SME lending usually, traditionally, is a very complex, document-heavy, slow process with the branches overloaded with people waiting. Underwriting cycles are far too long, and approval policies are usually very rigid. But on another hand, SMEs or people behind the SMEs' expectations are very simple. They expect speed, simplicity, and transparency, as they have while using the retail or consumer apps. And there is a gap between regulatory ambition and operational capacity, where I believe digital origination fits well and becomes a game changer. How digital origination does it? It can digitize the customer journey, basically from the start, so from application to disbursement. It has this part of omni-channel onboarding, which we will see later. It can start online, we can continue in the branch, finalize through mobile or contact center, basically anywhere and anytime. With its automated risk assessment and underwriting, integrated scoring, limit calculation, and financial analysis, makes it very, very flexible and very, very strong platform. And you can reuse the business processes. You will see the slide with the comparison with some of the competitors. So we support retail, SMEs, and corporate, which makes, of course, the total cost of ownership a bit lower. Of course, we are also utilizing and introducing the AI capabilities into our platform with personalized offering that are coming from AI models. So it's flexible. I will not go into these technical details, but as I mentioned, there are process modeling, business rules, document manipulation, authentication, audit, etc., something very important even from the compliance point of view. And it's genuine omni-channel experience. So e-banking, m-banking, public website, e-commerce, branch, contact center, it doesn't matter. Anytime, anywhere, any device, you can start, you can continue, you can finish. And you will see it's a matter of minutes, not hours, not days. Why it matters? Because the modernization of banking sector, especially here in Uzbekistan, means tighter consumer or customer protection and SME finance as a strategic KPI. CBU and the World Bank, they raised expectations for speed, for transparency, and fairness in lending. And banks need to lend responsibly and expect it to be digitalized, and everything that they do must be measurable. So digital origination supports all of this and much more with its full auditability and regulatory transparency, with its automated documentation and covenant monitoring, seamless integration with different systems from Platma, AML, credit bureaus, digital signature systems, etc. And of course, with all this, meeting the CBU recommendations is much less complex. The solution comes from platform, product, and implementation. When I say implementation, I'm not talking about the implementation as itself, people like working on installing the system. Implementation means a team of very experienced experts coming, working from projects all over the world in different markets with the different specifics. So this is also something that we are bringing to the table when talking about the digital lending. And this is the advantages comparing the digital origination to some of the competitors, for I believe you heard already. So from the deployment, we can really deploy the system on any kind of an environment. The scope is not just one segment, but retail, SMEs, and corporate. Speed, this is speed from the end user perspective. So 5-minute time to yes, 15 minutes time to cash, and it's getting lower. It's configurable. which means that you will not pay so much change requests in the future, and composable with this technical stuff, which you can see on the slide. So this flexibility is the main reason why the big European groups like Raiffeisen and Erste, why they decided to use digital origination as the backbone of their SME origination across multiple markets. So I think for RBI or Raiffeisen, we talk about, what, 20 countries, Igor, I think? Like 20, and Erste is also something like this. This is the use case. I will not go through it since we are in kind of, I don't have a time, but on the right-hand side, you will see the results of the implementation of digital origination. And it was for SMEs. In Erste, it was for retail, different use case, different scenarios, but the same success. And this is not the vision, this is here and this is working. So SMEs customers can really apply online and receive the approval within minutes. And funds can be on their accounts very quickly, reducing wait times. And here it says 2 hours, but I will say 2 minutes. Risk departments will gain another layer of real-time monitoring capabilities, etc., etc. So we really believe that this automation can reduce processing costs up to 90% and speed up the onboarding. And our goal as a vendor of this and many other solutions is to build the future of banking, fintech scene in Uzbekistan and everything else, of course, together. So to embrace this digital omni-channel origination, to accelerate this transformation, to enhance the transparency, to foster profitable and fully compliant SME loan portfolios from day one, and of course to partner with us as we are a proven worldwide market experience partner in, I would say, worldwide. And that's it for digital origination. I will have another presentation, which I think will be a nice one to close this presentation because it's about something important and it's communication and the contact center part. Now Anar, you will announce Rino. Thank you. Save the applause for the later because you will see me again. Yeah, thanks.
It was a spoiler. I thought that to say that it's your twin brother, right? So, yeah, and now we will talk about some interesting thing that about composable banking solutions. So, Rino, again, hear you. It's no need to to talk about him again because you saw him before. Rino?
Thank you very much, Anar. Thank you, everyone. Good morning again. Let's see if the presentation is here. Yes, thank you very much. So, you know, the previous presenters, you know, from the government, from the bank, and from us, of course, are all talking about outcomes. But you as industry leaders and the banks and us as vendors, you know, we have to accept that this digital challenge is here. And this is what we are all talking about. Now, when we think about this, we are all asking these questions. How do we offer a consistent user interface, user experience across different channels for digital services that our customers are using? How do we keep or attract more customers at an affordable cost? How do we keep the cost of acquisition low? How do we gain more momentum? How do we deal with the back-end shortcomings? These questions are difficult, and these questions are the backbone of the outcome that we are talking about. And how do we use self-service channels for sales and marketing, which my colleague is going to talk about later. Now, these are difficult questions, but when we try to answer these questions, we come to something else. How do we actually do it? What do we have to do to get this outcome? And these are the difficult things. These are the realities that we face as vendors, as industry leaders from the banking and from the government. What do we have to do to even get to this outcome? This is the hard work that needs to be done. Integrations with core banking systems, internal, external CRM systems, bill payment systems, contact center solutions, and of course nowadays what Mr. Sarvarbek was talking about and Krešimir was talking about is the AI systems, voice systems, video chat systems, and so on. So easier said than done, right? So we all have to face this challenge. You know, in our daily work everything that needs to be done to satisfy the customer so that the customer can have this good experience when using the products and the services that we offer them. So when we answer these questions, when we check what do we have to integrate with to achieve this outcome, it should probably look something like this, right? Digital services on mobile, digital services on web, but also digital services on tablets and smartwatches. So this is what the future looks like. Although I haven't seen yet someone banking on a smartwatch, I would like to see it and we can talk about it. Tablets, internet services, mobile services are where we are at today. So what is the reality, end of the day? It's actually mobile first. We need to be realistic. Whoever from one of us who is today or tomorrow or yesterday using the banking services, we are using our phones. Probably more than 90% of us are just using our phones, regardless of everything else that is available there that is nice to have or good to have, we are doing it on our phones. So what we have identified as ASECO, and based on the usage of these services over the mobile phones, is time to market. So why is this important? Mobile banking, as you know, that we all use, right, has different products and different services that we can utilize. Sometimes we can integrate marketplaces. Sometimes we can integrate different local solutions that are easy to use. But what we have identified is that doing a server-driven UI concept when talking about digital services is the fastest time to market that we can achieve by doing the screen reordering, enabling real-time changes without actually taking a lot of time to publish on the stores, waiting for our customers to download the new applications and so on. The second thing that we have identified is the process building. Process building meaning that we have to do data analytics. We have to check, and we do, what our customers and how our customers are actually using these mobile banking applications and build a process around their usage. So this enables us by adding or removing unnecessary steps within the mobile banking solution. Now, when it comes to mobile, and Krešimir said many things about corporate accounts, and we are today highlighting and stressing the importance of micro, small, and medium businesses. Yes, corporates and corporate clients and small and medium businesses can use web, but the reality is today we are all on our mobile phones. So what we propose and what we see that is kind of the best practice is in our mobile banking applications, we are all users, we are all individuals. So retail customers, right? Towards the banks, we are considered like this. So we can do all the onboarding, we can manage the accounts, we can see the cards, we can see the transactions, we can get personal loans, yes. And this is the reality that most of the banks, the advanced banks, the future banks are currently offering on the market. But corporate customers, micro enterprises, small and medium businesses, can they do it as well? We believe it should be there all in one, so that us as individuals can use the banking services, but at the same time having the possibility of getting the loans that are required, getting the liquidity that is required as easily as we as individuals can get it. And the third pillar, I would say, of this strategy or the mobile first strategy is security. So when we all use our mobile banking applications, whichever bank it is, we want to feel that it's safe, right? Our money is safe. And we at ASECO always have this in mind when we build any type of a solution. Is it digital origination for SME lending? Is it the retail banking or the corporate customers banking? We need to make sure that these applications are safe, easy to use, and hardened for protection against hacking attempts and everything else that is happening on the market. The reality is, as we advance, as the banks advance, as the solutions advance, as the vendors keep developing new systems, the threat is also increasing, and the hackers are doing the same. So yes, retail customers, yes, corporate customers, but having in mind the security of these applications and having in mind the protection of your assets and your money should be the critical point of having these applications on your phones or using on the internet. So with this, I will close it, and Rahmat.
Thank you, Rina. Rahmat. Have you saw it? They also have this like amounts of money, like millions, thousands, yeah? Oh, yeah, I thought that the exchange rate is the same as us. No? Okay, so, and the last one before coffee break, but a great a keynote about omni-channeling and the customer experience. Kresho Shulak, again, Kreshmir.
Thank you. Now you hate me, I think, because yes, I'm the last one before the coffee break. The future, the digitalized world, digital channels, and everything. Yes, but there is also something very important when it comes to being a proper and I don't know leading provider of services or anything else on the market. It's communication. It's experience that you're providing through communication with your customers. So we see it as something very important, not just us, but also our customers. I'll talk today about Live Nova. In agenda, it's called Live 3.0, but Live Nova is the name. Our platform for omnichannel banking and enhanced customer experience when it comes to the communication. The age of service, I think I heard that for the first time, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, and Yaro said today, now it's the age of intelligent service. In Uzbekistan, 83, I think up to 93% of population uses internet, so it's online. More than 90% of people are using mobile phones, which of course raises the expectations from the customers. So they expect some things to be instant, to be 24/7, and they expect of course consistent service. And the banks must blend this technology with trust and of course stay compliant. We believe that service that you're providing through your contact center or whatever the name of the organizational unit is, if it's instant, 24/7 and consistent, this makes difference at the end of the day. It makes difference even if some of the stuff that we saw before is not yet there. Of course, there is a regulatory context here in Uzbekistan. From what we know, this year, yeah, Central Bank of Uzbekistan and World Bank, they partnered up in terms of raising the bar of fairness when it comes to the consumer rights services and consumer online complaints. So the goal is, yes, the fairness, the transparency, and responsive financial system. Banks must ensure this accountability now and hopefully invest in CX platforms such as Live Nova. It means higher expectations, not just from the customers, but also from the regulator on clarity, complaint SLAs, and consistent experiences throughout all channels, either they're digital or physical. And then it's about the service. Good, if not top service, is now a compliance requirement. Not just like we want to differentiate, but it's also something that CBU now regulates. What is a top service? What makes the top service and omnichannel care? I think seamless experience across all channels. Like you can start on the phone, continue on the chat, and not losing the context when communicating with the bank. Clear communication and single interaction customer history, someone mentioned it before me, with the goal of intelligent connection between digital and physical, of course, banking. Personalized, data-driven support, what Yaro said. And this is an opportunity to build loyalty through service and, of course, trust. And whoever focus on personalization, omnichannel experiences, and smart automation will and can use that as a differentiator. And LiveNova, I believe, is really the one that gives you one bank, one answer experience that customers now demand. And how it fits. It is a platform that has all the communication channels within the one interface and one solution. So from fax to video, I would say. And every interaction that happens with the customer is traceable, measurable, and transparent. It makes the communication clear, and it provides the single communication and customer history in one screen, which makes the job of anyone who is communicating with the customer much, much more easier. Of course, there are parts which comes with AI assistants and the voice bots that can automate, that can summarize, that can assist and empower agents, human agents who are working in the contact center. Of course, we have to mention compliance again. So it's audit-ready compliance checking with the case management. So I know that here in Uzbekistan, since we have a project with this product, it's mandatory to integrate with the CBU so they can monitor what is happening in terms of compliance. And of course, at the end of the day, I think analytics and understanding what is happening in your contact center or while communicating with the customers is important. The system comes with lots of KPIs, net promoter score, dashboards, and anything that can make your job easier, but also to help you to predict what could happen in the future. So, and why it matters now? It's all about the efficiency. You know, contact centers are expensive in terms. It requires a lot of people and stuff like that. But okay, at the end of the day, I think that money is good investment. But with the AI, we can reduce the handling times, we can ensure the consistency, etc., etc., and we can make the organization looks better to look better from the outside. It builds loyalty because unified experience, as I mentioned. If you have the conversation about anything with the bank, is it a complaint or maybe asking to buy some product? If it's unified, if it's seamless, with no frictions like you started on the phone, then you are continuing via email, and then someone asks you, who did you talk to, when it occurred? So we are taking care of such stuff. It builds loyalty. And I think when we reach the goal that the banks on the market are competing through providing this kind of experiences, not just the pricing, I think we achieved what we are trying to do, and that can be a differentiator. I believe that whoever combines speed, consistency, and trust will be the winner when it comes to this part of the banking. And we can help, LiveNova can help with all of three, with the omnichannel service, compliance-ready complaint handling, AI features, and of course analytics that prove outcomes. And there is a message for the end, before the coffee break. So there is a regulatory momentum, but not just the regulatory, there is a momentum that customer support, customer care is important, not just when it comes to acquiring a new customers, as we saw in my previous presentation with this SME lending, but also in retaining the existing customers. And let's use this regulatory momentum and let's turn it into competitive advantage and make the top service your signature in the market with, of course, our help and guys from Platma. Now you can go to have a coffee, or Anar maybe is the one who invites, then Anar. Thank you very much. We have these brochures about the two products that I presented in the reception, and we will be here. So any questions, anything, because we don't have time for a Q&A session.
We have time for everything, but for now, 15 minutes. Applause to Kresho, applause to Rino, to Yaroslav, to Timur. And we have 15 minutes break, but before, after the break at 11:20, I will ask you to come in because there will be a panel discussion, TBC Bank, Capital Bank, Ipakuli Bank. So it's like, it will be a great banks discussion, and also with Paynet. But before, also there are brochures here that you can get. It's in Russian, digital origination and life. So the products that Krashmir was talking about. Have a nice break. Don't worry. Get coffee. Speak to each other. Yeah. No smoking, please. No smoking, please. 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's go. One, one, one. One, one, one. Let's go. Let's go. Great. It's a nice coffee break, right? It's really hard to interrupt everyone to get here, but we should start. Это к организаторам. Я не могу, точно. Коллеги, начинаем. Пожалуйста, проходите. Hello everyone, again. I know that it was really interesting coffee break and networking because like, I don't know how many, 4 times I asked everyone to go here and we can start, we can continue and there will be 2 interesting panels. I think that it could be one of the best and smoothest panels in the banking sphere in Uzbekistan because I don't know how, it's a miracle, but we get here one of the best speakers. And let me introduce them one by one and then start asking them questions. First one is Spartak Tetrashvili, CEO of TBC Uzbekistan. Today he will talk about non-banking products. Thank you, Spartak. Then Ulukbek Tavakalov, Vice Chairman of the Management Board of Capital Bank. Ulukbek. Thank you, Ulukbek. Then Alexey Puzniak, Deputy Retail Business Head of Ipakuli Bank, Monix Card. Alexey. And Farukh Khalmudmedov, Head of Business Development of Paynet. Farukh will tell us about banking products in non-banking sphere. So I think that it's really nice board here, right? And for you to know that we will start with Ulukbek Tavakalov because he's a moderator in another panel, so he will be fast and then he will go. But Ulukbek, it's really nice to meet you. Thank you here. Could you please tell us more about like your experience and then I will ask you a question. You have your microphone. You can speak any language.
Окей. Во-первых, хотел всех поприветствовать, дорогие коллеги, друзья, партнеры, гости. Сегодня очень хороший день, где мы можем обменяться опытом. И продолжая вот эту традицию, то, что сейчас были спикеры, я хотел бы тоже немножко поделиться опытом и привести несколько цифр, хороших цифр, на мой взгляд. Я залез в статистику денежных агрегатов Центрального банка и поднял циферку на 1/2020 года. Там оказалось, что у нас денежный агрегат составляет 24 триллиона сомов, а сегодня этот показатель стал 51 триллионов сомов. И мы все задаемся вопросом, это много или мало? Вроде есть рост в 2 раза. И я говорил про денежный агрегат М0, это наличная денежная масса, то есть все, что в наличном обращении. Это очень хороший рост, у нас налички стало больше, но вместе с этим, если это делить на наш ВВП, мы можем с вами осознавать, что налички становятся меньше. Мы с вами переходим в безналичное обращение. И таким образом доля к ВВП этого показателя была 4,29%, сейчас это 3,55%. То есть во всей нашей массе, денежной массе, наличка снижается. При этом общая масса денег с учетом безналичных депозитов и всего остального, она сохраняется на уровне 18%. То есть экономика растет, а вы знаете, что мы достигли 120 миллиардов долларов. Наличка соразмерно экономике растет, и при этом внутри наличная денежная масса снижается. Это вот первое. Второе, хотел бы сказать, что у нас идет большая интеграция банков финтеха. Мы наконец поняли, что один без другого развиваться не может. В 2025 году таких событий было очень много. Мы можем привести на слуху примеры были, где, например, Тенге с Кликом, да, там TBC купил себе OLX, мне тоже кажется хорошая сделка. Вот сейчас Monix с Ипакюли и другие хорошие примеры, которые говорят о том, что эта интеграция, она не является каким-то каннибализмом, а является неким дополнительным каналом продаж для банков. Поэтому вот эта интеграция и рост вот таких историй, прежде всего, это хорошие истории. Да.
Улугбек, спасибо. Хотел бы вот как раз-таки уточнить про вот эту всю интеграцию. Как вы считаете, какие метрики одни из самых важных при интеграции банков, финтех-продуктов? На что бы вы больше смотрели? На количество клиентов, на прибыльность их? Вот прямо сейчас, в данный момент в Узбекистане.
На прибыльность на первом этапе я бы не смотрел, потому что новый продукт, он сразу не генерирует прибыль, и это, наверное, не является самым главным. А остальные метрики, которые вы назвали, какие-то там МАУ, ДАО и совокупный как-то рост активов, да, двух компаний, которые между собой интегрировались, на них бы смотрел. Но, естественно, с второго-третьего года я бы уже обращал внимание на прибыль, которая должна уже генерироваться за счет этой интеграции.
Наверное, один из самых интересных вопросов – это то, что Капиталбанк – это один из самых больших банков Узбекистана, при этом один из самых технологичных. Как вы считаете, это вопреки идет технологичный рост или благодаря технологиям банк настолько хорошо расширяется? Потому что у нас есть примеры крупных банков, не цифровизованных, но таких крупных цифровизованных банков в Узбекистане не так много.
Капиталбанк всегда был очень развитым частным розничным банком. И если вот 10-15 лет назад смотреть, он всегда занимал достойное конкурирующее положение на рынке. Сейчас, когда он стал составной частью большого холдинга, Узум-холдинга, он направил свои усилия на традиционные каналы обслуживания и рядом создал ветку, которая разрослась и стала очень большой и независимой, где есть цифровая полностью история. Поэтому, отвечая на ваш вопрос, здесь можно с двух сторон подойти и вопреки, и благодаря общим трендам роста всего финтеха. Сейчас, наблюдая за прибылью финтех-компаний, банков, вы видите, что сейчас они себя чувствуют очень комфортно, и прибыль реально растет.
Кстати, вот насчет этого, есть у вас ваше понимание, продолжение от этого роста прибыли, оно ведь будет замедляться, как во всем мире сейчас? Мы знаем, что очень сильно падает. Или пока еще в ближайшее время будет рост, так сказать, прибыльности направлений банковских?
Если мы будем топтаться на одном месте, на одном сегменте, эта прибыль, она со временем будет замедляться однозначно, потому что конкурентная среда очень большая, и очень много игроков, которые являются подражателями и залазят и забирают твоих клиентов. В этой связи тот банк, который бьется только об одной и о другом не думает, через 2-3 года у него все это останавливается и идет обратно. Вот я знаю и думаю, что сам Спартак об этом расскажет. В какой-то момент они сказали, давайте на B2B. И мне кажется, это очень отличный шаг разворота, который даст дальнейшую генерацию прибыли.
То есть нужно расширяться вширь обязательно сейчас банком, чтобы продолжать этот темп, верно?
Да, и искать новые клиентские сегменты.
Интересно. А что вообще, например, какие вы видите основные препятствия для банков к расширению? Это какие-то, возможно, законодательные, возможно, культурные, возможно, технические особенности, которые сейчас есть в Узбекистане?
Бурный рост – это всегда есть хорошо с точки зрения продаж, и есть плохо с точки зрения операционных рисков. И мы все увидели, что когда мы побежали на продажи, мы за остальным не углядели. И вторая часть, которая следует за первой, это операционка, это фроды, это риски. На них мы стали ловить очень большие убытки, да, потери. Поэтому глобальная проблема, скорее всего, это не законодательство. Я бы сейчас не называл бы, что там есть очень много проблем. Законодательство идет вперед, и инициатив очень много, они положительные. Но вместе с этим последние 2 года мы видим, как регулятор усиливает, закручивает гайки в отношении фродов. И это, я считаю, правильный подход ввиду того, что мы бежали вперед, а все остальное нормально не выстраивали. И я думаю, что сейчас самое то время, наряду с ростом продаж, построить и оптимизировать все процессы, не только с точки зрения клиентского сервиса, но и с точки зрения управление рисками, фродами, мошенничеством и так далее.
Супер, спасибо. Улугбек, мы вас не будем сейчас уже.
Да.
Спасибо за то, что вы были сейчас. Секундочку. Похлопаемся, Улугбек, от вокала. Улугбек. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. So we are here now. Let's continue in English. And Spartak, let's start from you. Spartak Tezashvili, TBC Bank Uzbekistan, CEO, one of, like, it's a CEO position of the fastest growing digital bank in Uzbekistan, right? So you know, like, what the TBC Bank doing, and you acquired PayMe, Bills, OLX. What is it? Is it a way to get new clients, or it's the way to understand how to like to complement all your products, banking and non-banking products? What is it? What do you think?
Thank you for the question. So probably this is both. So you can never say this is only one or second, and it very much depends on phase or the level when you do the acquisition on M&A. For example, we bought PayMe back in 2019 when bank was still not existing. Back then it was obviously acquiring of the clientele, right? And today we recently had the deal with Bills. And you can imagine, so TBC Uzbekistan, I wouldn't say only a bank, but Uzbekistan, which consists of all of our companies, we have already close to 22 million clients, registered clients. And Bills that we have acquired, they have only 3,000 clients. So what do you think? Is it client acquisition or complementary? Again, both, because those clients, those 3,000 clients are business clients. This is our new direction, and it's now our main focus for next and couple of years to come. And obviously, it's not only about clients, it's about ecosystem. And the development of the banking in general is very interesting, because the more the technologies are developing, the more the digital banking is developing. And as we understand, client doesn't want a bank. I mean, nobody loves banks, right? Who loves banks? Nobody. Because they're happy when they take a loan, right? Once. And you hate them when you pay it back. I don't know how many times, depends on the maturity of your loan. So people do want some goods, some that, but for they're taking those loans. And why ecosystem? Because we want to be in every touch point of the client, would be retail or a business client, and provide not the loan, but the service that they will want. And basically, Bills is one of the complementary point in this ecosystem. And if you don't know, the Bills is the company who is providing kind of ERPs for retail sector, where the client can basically book their whatever transactions, they can track their stocks, they can understand what to buy, where to buy, how much they sell, and it's very user-friendly interface. So with this, we can provide to the clients, these retail clients, the possibility to book their financials properly. Additionally, we provide, because this is already us as a bank, payment acceptance opportunities together with PayMe QR code, because you know the QR code payments are very much used in the country. Plus, additionally, there comes digital account that is opening immediately. And as long we see their books and turnovers, we can proactively offer them credit limits that they would need if we see their stocks are out and they have to buy something new. So basically, getting one product, they're immediately getting all around it. And it's not about banking, it's about serving business and being there for each and every kind of their needs. So basically, Bills was both kind of new segment of clients, plus very important touch point with those business clients.
Great, but some of your products you develop from the scratch inside the TBC. So where is like your solving? How do you solve the problem, the dilemma of to acquire or to build from the scratch?
Again, very good question, and again, it depends on the maturity of the company. So, if you are on the early stage of your existence, it's probably not wise to develop everything inside because it requires a lot of resources, it requires a lot of knowledge and experience in that particular vertical that you're going to develop. And if you won't be focused on the things that you are good at, then it's very difficult to success. And when you start, you have to be focusing on your directions, and everything else, if you think it's complementary, you can think about M&A. But when you are big enough, when your existing verticals are working properly, then you can think to start something in-house, right? When you think that you have enough resources to defocus from your main driver and start something new. So basically, why we didn't start to develop builds inside, because it was not our business. We don't know how to do it. And there are guys who are doing it brilliantly. And why should we refocus from our main direction? So that's why we acquired them. However, we started from the scratch AI direction,
And
which is
traveling is in also.
exactly. So there is again trade-offs, and also you have to think about risks, right? How much risk is it to go in this and that direction? How much dependency you will have if you are using third-party services? So there are many aspects when you're thinking, should you do it something like in-house, or you should go for M&A or just a partnership with other companies.
Oh, great. And when we are talking about the banks of the future, how would you describe the perfect bank of the future, like nearest maybe future? What is it like?
Look,
TBC, right?
no. Obviously TBC, but no. It's very nice comparison of the development of the banking sector with telefonia. Let me say like this. For example, if you remember, maybe not all of you, because I see a very young audience here, but there were so-called ATS, I don't know how it is in English. When you wanted to call, you have to go to the specific place, queue, give your number, and there was a lady who was like doing whatever, and then you could reach the person in another city or whatever you were going to call. The next stage was that there was availability to get the phone at home, and you had on a wire your phone and you were calling like yourself. Yeah, then we had these mobile phones, which were kind of big bricks. And today we don't imagine our life without cell phone, because we don't call only from the phone, but we do a lot of things. We work in a phone, right? So if you start from this first when you go somewhere to call, and now doing everything to the phone, you see the huge development, and the development is going further as well. So the banking is more or less the same. So initially there were only big banks. You can go and do the stuff with only one branch on specific place. Then we have branching, a lot of branches where banks are trying to be near to the client. And this stage is still here. And I think digital banks are some kind of comparison of mobile phones in the telefonia development and switching from the home phone to the mobile phone. However, still, I think 90% of the population is used to go to the branches and bank there, right? So, but just ask how many of you are still using home phones. Funny enough, there are still people who are using it. Really, there are, but very few. And when we are saying that digital banking is kind of future, it's not a future, it's today, because you can really do it today. And those banks who are home phone style, if you don't switch very fast towards the contemporary developments in whatever direction, they will end up as the home phones today. This is the reality. But the next step, that the future of the banking, and not only the banking, is probably more advanced technologies, kind of AI. Obviously, AI is a marketing word. There is no such a thing as artificial intelligence. It is just very smart and advanced models that can do the stuff way better. And we need to use those models to make our banking or our services even more smarter. And how would I describe the bank? Because I may make big explanation of how came it to this. So it should be self-managed and next to you all the time. So you shouldn't be thinking, oh, I have to bank, I have to go, I have to do. No, it will be always with you. It will be managed by yourself. So something like this.
Like a partner, right?
It was partner always, but it is more you manage bank, not bank manages you. So something like this. This is very important.
Okay.
Hmm?
Thank you, Spartak. Then let's start, Alexei, with you. So, Alexei,
May I first argue a bit this, Spartak?
you
I know at least one client who really loves banks. It's banking platform suppliers. They really love them. But that's all.
Alexei, let's talk about personalization and segments, because before we talked about banks, but banks nothing without clients. And what about clients? What do you see like the today's what in Uzbekistan is the main maybe obstacles or maybe the main goals for the banks to achieve in categorization, in segmentation, in personalization, because as a foreigner, for me, as well as I'm living here only for 4 years, I really found it kind of interesting that women's card only appeared like a few months ago. And so could you please tell me and our guests about personalization?
Yes, sure. So first of all, I should say that I'm here for less than 4 years, just 2.5. But even within these 2.5 years, Uzbekistan has a trajectory which actually takes the economy from the underdeveloped world to the moderately developed world. And the society itself, it doesn't want to use product which is built on the way of one size fits all. And most of the banking products right now still one size fits all. So the only thing it can do, like a card, it can pay, and that's all, nothing else. And when I talk to my people, I'm always saying them that, guys, when I'm asking you for some questions, why is it so? Please, if you don't have rational explanation, tell me that this is like that for historical reasons. And here is, for historical reasons, all the cards were the same across each and every bank until the year 2024. And in the year 2024, TBC started issuing the card very distinctive from each other, and we also started to issue distinctive cards. So last year we issued the credit card, which has a cashback and that was addressing the needs of the people who have from time to time an issue of managing their cash flow. This is not a constant borrowers, but I would say from time to time borrower. And this year, we decided to do a 8th of March gift for our ladies in the society. And we want to run it as a short-term campaign. We produced like 5,000 pieces. And unfortunately, these 5,000 pieces were sold in 4 days, while we expected that it would be enough for the whole month. And now we have, by this time, we have more than 90,000 clients purchasing woman card. And the woman card is tailored towards the needs and desires and the wishes of the women population. So it has more than 100 partners, and partners offer a special discount for the kind of services women use on every day. It's about health, it's about education, this is about Horeca, where you meet your friends and you share your ideas. It's also about the wellness, about fitness, about cosmetology, etc., etc., etc. So value proposition is tailored towards the needs and desires of the huge segment underserved by the existing banks. But that's not all. At the end of the summer 2025, we also launched another one, quite interesting product, targeting the largest gaming society in Uzbekistan. So just to give you a few numbers, there is one game, mobile game, in Uzbekistan. There's more than 3.1 million monthly active users. Can you guess which one? PUBG. This is PUBG Mobile. So it took us almost 2 years to negotiate these intellectual property owners, and we finally have a unique proposition for all the players of PUBG Mobile in Uzbekistan, where you earn the rewards, in-game rewards, for just spending for your daily activities, buying food, tanking, like going to the restaurant or to the cinema. And every time you pick with your card on the POS terminal, you receive a reward in your favorite game. And this is the only product on the market. So we, at the bank, we are going segment after segment after segment after segment. We believe that the tailored proposition will attract way more people than the hard push of the vanilla products. And that's what we actually do.
Alexey, I here really need to ask one important question. What is more important for the customer, card or a bank? Because as I hear now, like, yeah, cards. And then as I remember, even Monix, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, nice card. And then when I, like, in 2 months, I realized that it's from Ipakuli, I was surprised. Like, wow, it's like, for
Old
me,
school bank can do something new. Yeah. I would say it this way. So the value proposition on the card is important, but it's way easier to create a great value proposition on the card based on the well-known bank. If we will try to do the same from the very beginning, this is a bank, this is a known brand, we will hit the wall. It will be very difficult to persuade customer to take a product from the financial organization no one knows without the significant investment into the brand building and the direct push of the product. And doing it on the basis of the Ipakuli, which is here for the last 35 years and well known by the society, it's way easier. So it's easy to attract client on the nice value proposition powered by the great brand. But it's way more difficult to do the same without the great brand. So value is important, but brand is equally or even more important in the financial sector.
so the brand of the bank is like a supporter to to secure the client, right? That this card will work. That
I would say it helps to eliminate the first concern of the client. How reliable is the product?
oh, okay.
And if you have a 35 years of the proven reliability, then this question is taken out of the consideration.
Alexey, thank you. And let's go to Farukh Kholmuhammadov. Farukh, I think that it will be a nice chat now because I need to ask you in front of one of the biggest banks in Uzbekistan, like, is there a future where our system is distinguished by banks and fintech, or it will be like consumed, maybe collapsed together? What do you think? Because now, as I can see, there is like a short line between banks and fintechs, because a lot of fintech tasks that I do it without bank, but with fintech apps.
Thank you for your question. If you don't mind, I would like to switch to Russian to give you answers more detailed and specified.
Sure.
I hope the translators will help me. Касательно того вашего вопроса, я, наверное, отвечу следующим образом. Банки в последнее время были очень сильно заняты высокомаржинальными продуктами, это кредиты. Вот, и совсем не дали столько сил и усилий для развития обычных ритейл-продуктов. Например, из последнего это вот то, что мы сделали в Пайнете, это покупка золота, криптокошелек и прочее. В этой истории, конечно, мы как финтех более гибче, чем банки, но, несмотря на это, у нас есть все равно блокеры. Все, что может делать банк, не все мы можем делать мы. Но все, что можем делать мы, может делать банк. Потому что, ну, такова сущность нашей лицензии платежных организаций. Касательно будущего, как мы, финтехи и банки, будем развиваться, как показывает рынок, такие банки, как TBC и Pakiola Capital, очень сильно делают сейчас упор в развитие B2C направления. И не только по части кредитования, но и по части привлечения, engagement юзеров. И в целом тут мы чувствуем конкуренцию. B2B направление пока что лучше получается. Вот B2B направление, оно сейчас нехорошо развито у обоих типов игроков на рынке. И мы идем в эту сторону, именно поэтому Пайнет выпустил по последнему постановлению президента 247 мы запустили специальную платформу для развития нано- и микробизнеса. Это Пайнет Холос, в котором мы заменяем онлайн-кассовые аппараты, терминалы Ускар, терминалы Хумо, электронную цифровую подпись, и все это происходит в рамках одной площадки. Потому что и государство понимает, что теневой рынок не сокращается теми темпами, которыми хотелось бы. То есть если вы пойдете на базар, у каждого на самом деле, вот в ВК-базаре, у каждого продавца на базаре есть на самом деле и индивидуальный предприниматель статус, и терминал, и контрольно-кассовая машина, но они ими не пользуются. Да, и карточка написана на картонке. Или они запоминают эти все 16 цифр, на удивление. И когда вы хотите что-то купить, они просят сделать перевод. Государство это понимает, что это уход от уплаты налогов. Именно поэтому с 1 января ставка налога с прибыли для такого сегмента, для микро- и нанобизнеса, снижается до 1%. То есть оно соразмерно будет P2P переводу. Таким образом, это, конечно, история социальная. Опять же, отвечая на вопрос про прибыльность, который вы спрашивали у Улугбеке. Да, здесь прибыли нет.
Ну вот тут можно сразу прерву, чтобы продолжить как раз-таки с этого момента. Получается, здесь уже Paynet становится определенной точкой назначения нано-предпринимателя для того, чтобы запустить свой бизнес, а не банк.
Абсолютно верно, да. На самом деле и банкам не интересно работать с нано- и микробизнесом, потому что это операционные расходы. В любом случае. И там не будут такие колоссальные обороты. Это такая же история, как и с американскими, наверное, банками, в которых намного интереснее и вкуснее обслуживать корпоратов с большими объемами оборотами. Мы делаем ставку, опять же, на узнаваемость бренда, на понимание, на ассоциативную связь наличных денег и Пайнета, потому что первое, что приходит на ум про Пайнет, это всегда наши будки, пайнетчики, которые принимают кэш. И это наша сильная сторона, и мы работаем в развитии синергии и омниканальности между всеми этими каналами продаж. Получается, не всегда легко, как и планируется, но мы движемся в этом направлении для охвата не только физлиц, которые unbanked, но и также нано- и микробизнеса, которые переходит в эту трансформационную историю. Мы понимаем, что рано или поздно, когда любой предприниматель дойдет вот этого пика лимита миллиард сумм и станет НДСником и плательщиком с налога на прибыли, они в любом случае вынуждены будут пойти в банк. И тут уже составить конкуренцию с банком, со всеми этими продуктами типа SWIFT-переводов, escrow, факторинг и прочее, у нас не получится. Наша лицензия просто это не позволяет. Но мы тот самый трамплин, платформа, на которой мы взращиваем этот нано- и микробизнес.
Спасибо, Фарух. Let me switch to English. So
Sure.
there will be some questions maybe from our audience. No? No questions from the audience? Oh, there are some questions, really. Great, great. I will give you a microphone. 1 second.
Ассаламу алейкум. У меня вопрос к вам, Фарух Аке. Вы сказали то, что будете заменять УС-карты и хумо-терминалы. Каким способом?
Хороший вопрос. На текущий момент вы можете в качестве пилота мы запустили, потому что еще с 1 января же должно вступить налоговый режим. В Эко-базаре мы уже заонбордили 60-70% рынка, именно дихканского рынка, где можно овощи и фрукты купить. Оплата на текущий момент происходит с помощью QR-кода. QR-код формата PayNet. То есть вы должны скачать приложение PayNet, чтобы иметь возможность оплатить. Центральный банк, в свою очередь, готовит стандартизированный QR онлайн, который будет приниматься всеми игроками, банковскими приложениями, финтех-приложениями на прием оплат. И параллельно с этим, понимая, что не каждый потребитель может иметь мобильное приложение там, банка или финтех-приложения, мы делаем интеграцию с SoftPOS, чтобы предприниматель, этот нано- и микробизнесмен, мог с помощью мобильного телефона с поддержкой NFC, прикладывая на заднюю часть, принять платеж с карт УС-карт и хумо. Я ответил на ваш вопрос?
Спасибо. So there is no questions no more, or maybe someone would like to ask? No? Okay. So just to finish, thank you for everyone. Oh, one question more. Great.
Здравствуйте. Какое финтех-решение банкинг хотел бы больше всего видеть на рынке, и что именно будет основоположением того самого банка будущего?
Можно я доп. Вопрос задам? Какое финтех-решение нужно банкам, вы говорите?
Да. То есть я имею в виду, вот на конференции заходила речь о банках будущего, и мне интересно сейчас, что именно может стать его основоположением и что нужно банкам для того, чтобы прийти к этому решению.
На русском или на английском? Okay, I will talk in English then. Английский нормально, да? Понимаете? Good. Look, Farouk very nicely explained what is fintech itself, because banks are becoming very lazy, and this is true. And then fintech have a room to play. That's why your question is a bit tricky for the bankers, because if we think we need something, we try to do it, right? But if fintech comes with a new idea that we were lazy and we didn't see that there was opportunity, they do it, and then we understand that, oh, so cool, let's have it as well. So basically, this is fintech who is driving this kind of offer, not the banks who are asking and having some kind of demand. Obviously, we can think about something, but it will be very vague. So the market works other way around. This is my perspective.
Just want to confirm the same opinion. Banks need nothing. Banks needs only transparent regulation from the central bank, preferably not to change the same regulation 4 times a year, because it requires us to rebuild all the processes 4 times a year. And instead of serving customers, we are serving one customer, central bank. And but I would also say that fintechs can play because they don't have such a strict regulation like a bank. These are new things, new technologies, and new ideas. And when you play well, you would probably need banking services, and then you can come to bank. And bank can help you facilitating payments or selling your products to their customer database. So you can treat the bank not as a buyer of your solution, but as the source of the clients for your solution. That might work.
So the best answer is if bank would know, they do it on their own. So you
Можно
should
я
do it.
спрошу вопрос? Вам эта информация для чего? Если вы стартапер и вы думаете, что сделать для там, банков и финтехов, то надо посмотреть, наверное, в сторону PFM, Personal Finance Management. Это очень невыгодная история для нас, для банков, делать ее и развивать ее, потому что очень сложно. И если вы будете делать в эту сторону развития, то, наверное, да, и банкам, и финтехам это будет интересно.
Забавно, что именно не банк сказал это, как раз таки, да, то есть это дает о себе знать. One more question, it will be the last question.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for interesting panel speeches. Mr. Tetrashvili, I would like to ask about your comment, like the bank shouldn't manage the clients, but the client should manage banks. Can you elaborate more on that? Like, what do you foresee in the coming couple of years, like products where clients manage the bank, or like some features? How does it look like? Can you expand on this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think current conjuncture of the digital banks is already the example of it. Because what I mean when the bank is managing the client, so if you want to be banked, you have to do certain things. You have to go somewhere. You have to bring some documents. You have to queue. You have to comply with blah, 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 blah. When you have your bank in your pocket, you don't have to do stuff. You on your own decide when you want to open the application, what you want to do, and you do it all yourself. So you have less limits. The only disadvantage of this new, so to say, style is that there is no more private kind of conversation or individualism. There is no more individualism because when you do the products that can scale, they're more standardized. And the way to solve it probably is, again, AI models that we are now working a lot on it, because the countries like Georgia, like Uzbekistan, the people love to talk. And we know a lot of clients, they're going to the branch just to talk with this lady. They don't want to have any transactions. They just want to blah, blah. And then exactly, it's a show off and everything. Obviously, this show off we can't manage so far, but this talking element we can solve very soon. We will be introducing our AI assistants into the app. That will be kind of Alisa type, you know, Yandex Alisa. The name is Lola, and you'll be able to talk with TBC Lola. It is Uzbek talking bot. Initially, it will be kind of responding to you with the text, but it understands fully the Uzbek language when you talk. It is just a talk as well, just a chit chat, you know, what's the weather about, how to cook plow or whatsoever. And it can also perform some of your transactions if you want, like make whatever. And it can be your PFM friend saying to you that, hey, you are spending too much on, alcohol, don't drink anymore, go and do some gym. I mean, it will be really helping you and assist you based on your transaction. So this element we want to introduce to reintroduce kind of individualism and kind of feeling that you are talking with someone. And this is what I mean. So nobody should tell you what to do. You yourself decide when and what you want to do. This is what I meant.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope Lola will not tell me a lot, like not to eat plov today, please. Not today, please. So today we had four, I could say, leaders of the banking sphere, of payment sphere in Uzbekistan, and I'm glad to see that they are not competitors. I think that they are like players of the same team, because as you saw today, there is like no competitorship between them. It's about transformation of the market. So thank you to all of you that you were here. Let's clap together. Thank you. And I will replace myself with Yaroslav. He is the moderator of the next panel. Let's make some photos of us, and Yaroslav also, let's go. Two moderators. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Super. Yaroslav, it's your turn.
Thank you, Anar. Thank you, colleagues. So we had amazing panel discussion with the banks. So we heard their vision of how the banks will transform in the future. But of course, take into account that new bank, it's not only about the finance and transactions, it's more and more about new technologies. This conference wouldn't be complete if we wouldn't invite partners of the banks, vendors of products that help banks to become modern. So I would like to invite 5 more panel speakers. First of all, it's Igor Gjalya. It's CEO of the ASSE. It's whatever you want. It's a part of huge vendor, ASSECA, which cover Southern Eastern Europe and Central Asia. So we work very deeply with ASSE and local banks here, with Igor and his team. Max Prokhorov, CEO and co-founder of Platma, company that transform banks into Bank 6.0. We already discussed a little bit about this subject, but Max also will share some insights regarding this. Denis Shipilov, Lacton Finance. Denis Shipilov is the head of relationship. Of course, it's impossible to talk about the banks of the future, not touch the crypto and tokenization aspects. So today we will hear what is a crypto bank and so on and so on. So I'm extremely exciting. Baxi, Denis Galugin, he is co-founder and CEO of startup which help banks to create hybrid financial products. And we will discuss what is the animal it is. Okay, so I will sit here. No worries. No. I think let's do in such way. So let's start with the question to Igor. So Igor, digital transformation of the banks, it's about the investment from the bank into different area, and of course it should be related to return of investments. So in your opinion, what is the main and the most interesting area for Uzbekistan banks at the moment to go with products of the vendors which help them for this digital transformation, in your opinion, in Uzbekistan, or also in general?
Okay, thank you for the question. I mean, it's not an easy question because everybody wants to return their investments, and we see that there is a schizophrenic world in front of us. Everybody wants to do it fast and so on. But in principle, I strongly believe that the quality is the important part. And focusing, we've been hearing. I'm sorry that the bankers are not here. I mean, the colleagues from the previous panel, because. Would be interesting also to discuss with them how they see this story. I can tell it from our approach on technology vendor side. What we see, of course, digitalization of the front-end channels in many cases are, let's say, proven that it's bringing back the investment faster than some others. I mean, we have a trend of closing the branches That's obvious. So the branches are very big expense. So we don't see, of course, the banks opening new branches massively. It's opening a specific specialized branches maybe for the private banking, but not for the commercial. So we see a lot of investments going in digital, and we see that this digital is returning back the money. How it's returning back the money? You mentioned return on investment. Actually, what we see, banks are measuring return on invested capital. This is what the measure is, let's say, for the banks, which is very important. And the banks are successful if they distribute, for example, loans faster and scale better. And we, as a technology provider, we are offering different kind of platforms. The colleague said that the platform vendors are the happy customers of the banks, which I don't fully agree, because the idea of the platform is to build something with the bank to increase return on investment or increase return on invested capital, but also cut the costs. So what I see in Uzbekistan with very, let's say, brief research, there are majority are state-owned banks. Okay, in this is not bad by default. So I work in the country which also had the state-owned banks, but we went through the process of privatization of these state-owned banks, trying to make it more, let's say, cost-effective and efficient. We went through which Uzbekistan will go through. We saw today digital banks and so on. There will be more and more digital banks because serving of the customer is easier and more cost-effective. There is also cost-income ratio, so the income can be generated, more income can be generated with such platforms than can be generated with, let's say, branch. So we live in the world where the banks in Uzbekistan will go through this transformation, implement a lot of digital platforms for sure, because this is a trend and this is how it should be, embed some services, but also increase the quality. It shouldn't be like a stupid approach. Should be approach tailored to specific needs of the customers. So we saw, for example, small medium business underserved. So providing a proper digital platform for small medium business should be a way to go to increase return on investment, let's say.
Thank you, Igor. Thank you. Before I will continue to asking your question, I would like to introduce also Tigran Bikmulin, CEO of the SQB Ventures. Hi, Tigran. We have a huge traffic jam, but finally Tigran is here. Please see. Because conversation regarding the banks of the future without the venture arms of the banks also will not be full enough. So Igor, I would like to continue our discussion, just a couple more questions. What we feel, for example, communicating with bank in Uzbekistan, that they, of course, they influenced quite well by policy of the central bank. And in the air at the moment is loans and growing SMB market. So I believe there is also amazing space how to help them to utilize this huge demand that they should utilize, but probably without solutions like ASEP provides, it's not non-effective. So probably you also will highlight a little bit about this.
Absolutely. Look, we've been working with hundreds of banks. Roughly, let's say, what we serve currently, it's roughly around 300 banks in different areas and different markets, 24 markets. None of the markets is the same. None of the bank is the same. So what we consider is important is to have the solutions which are capable of tailoring to specific needs, and they are also capable to bring bank to the some next level. Because we've seen also today some presentations from the bank where they list all the features. We have bills, we have this, we have that feature, we have mobile bankings. I would say the feature kind of approach is obsolete, because feature approach is something that everybody can have. But applying this feature in proper user experience, tailoring this to the data, we saw today also or heard about AI, adapting this properly. This is what the platforms have to support, be open to support, and in order to provide the value to the customers. So this is what we are building. We are we are very rarely today having even requests from the banks to implement a feature. This is not happening. But we have problems that they are facing. Like, for example, we want to distribute loans. We want to serve, or we have we are looking for a platform which would be able to address multiple customers, thousands or millions of customers, but at the same time score them better to avoid fraud, connect to AML, connect to some backend data, connect to PSD2 interfaces to get the other data for the scoring from the other systems, maybe implement some artificial intelligence within the risk or maybe within the onboarding process. And then through this, we can provide the proper quality of service for the customers.
Thank you. And probably the last question, which is also very important. There is also dilemma for the bank to produce by them own or to invite partner. So where do you think this is the compromise? Yes.
There is no compromise. Just invite the partner.
Amazing.
No, I mean, look, I think the message which I strongly believe in is that everybody should do their job the best way. So banks, I work with the banks for last almost 20 years. I don't think it's a super boring business. There are banks which emerged over time. Some of them created magnificent products, but they are the banks, and they don't know the banking. We are not the bank. I'm not the bank. If you give me a possibility to issue a loan, I will issue everybody a loan because I like you and you're my friends. But this is not a proper business. So we are an IT vendor, and I think the IT should be left to the people who understand the IT. This doesn't mean that the bank shouldn't upskill themselves in IT. This doesn't mean that the bank shouldn't have the, let's say, capacity more and more or to develop some specific areas. But what we faced, which is not good, that many times banks start to be an IT, diminishing the bank, trying to position as a IT vendor, competing with themselves, because you will not create innovation if you are not on the market. So we see, for example, big banks creating their big IT departments, taking a lot of people, and after 3-4 years, they are deciding to cut off half of that. So this is also not productive. So what we see is that the vendor or partners should be next to the bank, providing the value, and successful banks, to my opinion, would find a good suited approach with the partners. We are very much open, let's say, in many discussions with the bank directly. More direct, the better. We are also in the discussions with central banks. We know, for example, now I don't know how much is in Uzbekistan, but in Europe, DORA cybersecurity acts are super important. So we were, for example, we are put on the list of critical providers, similar as a bank. Why? Because we partner with the banks in a proper way. So this is, and we take this as responsibility. So if you want to work with the banks in Europe, you have to take care of security, cybersecurity, DORA acts and everything in order to work with them. And you take the responsibility also for being a critical partner for them. That's how it should be.
Yeah, super. Thank you. Thank you. Let's shift our discussion to Max Prokhorov, Bank 6.0. So Max, just in one sentence, what is the main difference between traditional bank and Bank 6.0?
It's a good question, but very hard to explain for one sentence. It's impossible because it's really evolution of like relationship between banks and between clients. Because now it's not like even evolution, like revolution, because bank begin like not only transaction service, but like a partner who help and give more value and earn money with you, not only with transaction and loans. He gives services, operational system, and predictive model, which now AI can help to understand more and effectively know what your business partner account do and what your personal account do, and you can merge it and understand it's more to use NI, how to compare it and give more and more value. And what is this Bank 6.0? It give new type of relationship between banks and his client, and it's not only like bank give some offers, but it's relationship between them to give more valuation, more discount, more vouchering, more investing, more loan, and so on and so on. And it's not only for loans, it's not only for transaction. It's like ecosystem which helps to give more and more value for your end client. And why it's time to do now? Because technical support is more effectively, and only bank maybe the best know who the client is.
Okay, thank you. So how does this shift from transaction processing into intelligence processing will affect the revenue model for the banks?
I think bank will begin to invite more and more technological product startups into the ecosystem to work together to their end clients, because bank has a lot of clients and can handle this stream to help to find clients, small and medium business. And I think this is good approach and opportunity for cooperation between merchants, between banks, and give more and more good offers for your end customer.
Thank you. So continue your answer. So how do you think which segment will benefit most from this transformation of the banks? So corporates or retail? Or
in my opinion, the most important case which need to focus bank now, not only Uzbekistan, the whole of the world, it's SMEs. SMEs, e-com, merchant who produce something, who sells something, who give services and so on. Because the most problem of them it's short loans for short services which they sell for their customers. And bank can be a partner between them.
Clear. Thank you. So we do not have a lot of time, so let's shift to Denis. Can I have your phone? Let's start from Lacton. So Denis, what is the animal is crypto bank? And probably let's start from short description of the Lacton Finance, what it is, to put us with audience on the same page, and then we will discuss a little bit deeply about tokenization, RWA, and your vision, how it could leverage traditional bank industry.
Thank you for the question, of course. Well, we are a crypto depository, the first license in the country. But the definition of crypto depository doesn't say anything, I believe so. I propose to, for the simplification purposes, I propose to think about depository as a crypto bank. But what is crypto bank? That's the other question. So, first of all, we provide the full circle of services regarding crypto processing. I mean, acquiring services, tokenization services, listing services. We even have our own registry, because in accordance with the local legislation, if you issue crypto asset, it's very simple in Uzbekistan. The regulation is really clear and transparent, but the problem is that you have to register your asset somewhere. So we have such register. And that allows the greater thing in our model is that our services are accessible via API. So, I mean, this allows our partners such as banks, fintech companies, or even any business, to be honest, to integrate our services directly to their apps or resources and offer to their clients. Let me share a couple examples, if possible. My favorite one, I would like to start with. Many of us have heard about Tinkoff Investment. That's the platform that made investing accessible for everyone. It's a well-known product in CIS countries, as far as I know. So, taxi drivers, middle managers, self-employed, small business owners all became investors, because It was casual investing. The same concept is available in Uzbekistan right now with the crypto. So as a crypto depositor, we are official broker of one of the world's largest crypto exchange, and we have investment model that allows to carry out casual investment. I mean, what I mean is casual investing. DeFi, classical DeFi, is still maybe a bit of a risky for the casual users. But with our approach, investors do not operate with blockchain directly. They do this through our platform. And this platform, this investing model, is also accessible via API. So banks or fintech can integrate it into their apps and offer to their clients. And that's a good point for synergy, because real scaling goes from casual users, because crypto enthusiasts, in fact, they're very specific people and they already in the game. But the casual users, that's where the growth may came from, I believe.
Thank you. But in general, what today's Uzbekistan crypto assets markets looks like?
Thank you for the question. I can speak about this for 2 hours, but I'll try to keep my answer concise and focused. So, the crypto industry is one of the fastest growing segments of the global economy. In Uzbekistan today, there are the number of crypto owners is projected to grow at a CAGR of about 45% and reach about 5 million people by 2030. Today, it's about 500,000 people. I mean, crypto owners. That could be counted, of course, officially. The market volume could approach $13 billion by then, from roughly 1 billion today. These figures may appear ambitious, but yet they are consistent with the global adoption trends. And yeah, but what matters is not the pace itself, it's not the pace alone, but the foundation is being built, including trust, including regulation, that is really favorable in Uzbekistan, and of course integration with the broader financial system. That's where sustainable growth will come from.
Thank you. Now let's talk a little bit about RWA, real world assets. So how do you foresee which area of such assets will be mainstreaming in tokenization in the nearest future in Uzbekistan?
Thank you. Very timely and important question. Let me highlight a few practical areas where tokenization already creates value. For example, the first thing that rushes through my mind is securities tokenization. It is possible, I mean, right now, it is possible right today. It is possible to tokenize equities issued both by local and foreign public companies. And this opens new opportunities because you can, sell tokenized securities for the residents of Uzbekistan as well as abroad, and this functionally already available. You can start tokenizing right now. The next point is, I would say, crypto bonds or crypto obligations. For example, any bank in Uzbekistan, in fact, any residential legal entity of Uzbekistan can issue obligation and offer them to foreign investors in foreign currency, and that creates the new channel for attracting foreign capital to the economy of Uzbekistan. Another point is ITO. I would like to suggest to think about ITO as of a crypto-based version of IPO. So businesses can raise capitals through initial token offerings, and well, that allows to enhance capital mobility and creates new source of investments. The next thing I would like to mention, I can say, you know, the people's IPO that was announced in Uzbekistan could be implemented through tokenization too. In fact, our tokenization engine allows to enable thousands different types of crypto assets. So in that sense, imagination becomes the only real limitation. So there are significant, I mean, the crypto landscape and tokenization landscape is vast. But of course, what matters is not the technology itself, but how we implement it to the real economy. Because without real economy, all that progressive and interesting things such as blockchain technology, such as AI, will remain the things about themselves. So that's the point. The first thing that we, not the first, but the main thing, one of the main things that we have to think about is integration to real economy, to the basic economy procedures and processes.
So, do you see at the moment there is some bottleneck in this direction? First of all, I believe with legal aspects. So technically, it's understand how to tokenize asset, but legally, how to, for example, if we would like to do tokenization of some asset, let's say real estate flat. So how I can be sure that this is part, this square meter, which belong to my token, belong to me. So, can you please clarify this?
Fully agree. Thank you for the question. And unfortunately, you are right. There are couple, not only one bottleneck, I think. I would describe this situation as the problem, but that's a real fact, and this is this can be implemented to every country. I mean, any crypto-positive country. There's a problem that different industries have different regulations, and in crypto, everything looks transparent. The legislation is short and, in fact, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers report, one of the most favorable in the world for ITO. They call it ICO, but we call it ITO because it's a wider thing. But when we talk about other industries, in many of them, there is no token definition. So you can't use tokenization and as a method of value transferring if it doesn't mention the legislation. The same problem with real estate. Technically, is the simplest thing to tokenize apartment or building, but the problem is that it works the way that banks should be involved in process of transferring. There should be some legal aspect, another very deep legal aspects I can talk about a long time, but I wouldn't like to just speak redundant things. Yeah,
appreciate that. Thank you.
But in general, the problem that as instrument, token and tokenization exists and works, but when we would like to apply it to the practice routine of the different industry, that's where the problems come from. But I asked our regulatory, and they work with this. I mean, regulatory body, national agency, they are working with this, and I think we have grounds to expect more or less a line of legislation in the nearest future.
Clear. Thank you, Denis. Thank you, Denis, for your answers. Denis Gulagin. So let's switch to you. Company Baxi. So during the previous panel with the banks, we discussed that the bank should go wider, like Anar shared it. So your solution, which helped to create new banking products, financial hybrid products, could fill this additional wide increasing of the banks. So could you please describe a little bit about such a hybrid products and how it could compare with traditional deposits and traditional banking products?
Thanks, Yaroslav. You know, banks it's a still business, and main goals for the business it's a market share. It's about money. So in this case, when we talk about some hybrids or alternatives products in the banking side or alternatives financial products, it's again about this metrics. It's about new customers. It's about new revenue, and in one hand, like example, we have a huge trend about casual investing, as I mentioned, my colleague Dennis. And if we talk about the financial markets, it's a markets not about millions. It's about it's a markets about trillions. And on the other hand, we have a customer base and banking audience who expect what a bank or financial institute can provide this possibility to invest some money in some assets in financial markets, in stocks, in ETF, in crypto, and in other way. So it's not about different product. It's about good alternatives what your customer base are currently expected when we talk about banking audience. So here, if you provide this possibility, you can to increase your RPU like a bank. You can have some unfair advantages in the market because still investing or casual investing or micro investing, it's not available story in Uzbekistan yet. And if you launching this product in some kind of markets like Uzbekistan or another emerging markets, you will have some really unfair advantages in the market, and you can attract new customers from this market. And the main story, you will anchor your customers more deeply because you can to dive in pocket of your customer more deeply here because it's additional capital what will deploy in your financial infrastructure like a bank.
Okay, Denis, thank you. Let's step one step backward. So how do you cooperate with the banks? Let's start from this. Probably it will help to understand for audience better your product.
Okay, thank you. So in our case, we provide infrastructure for the launching these investing products for the banks, and they can have access to our infrastructure and build on our infrastructure own products. If we talk about some access to the financial markets, access to the crypto markets, and we provide for them fully ready infrastructure in financial layer. And second part, it's product infrastructure because we can provide some ready-made or preset products and API for launching this story in the market.
Okay, thank you. And what is the profile of the final customer of this solution in the bank? So is it micro investors or so could you please describe? It will be important to understand for all of us, including the banks. Who are they? Their customers who will use this hybrid products?
Yeah, here it's a mass market. It's a retail customer. It's just a typical banking customer. And why we talk about this audience? Because again, investing it's a more near story when we think, because bank can provide investing products with really lower entrance level, and you like a customer can invest just I don't know, $10 or $20, and if you have a $100, you can to create some diversified portfolio, and it's mean what we talk not about high net worth or affluent or even mass affluent. We talk about retail investor, we talk about mass market, and you can provide these products for whole your audience currently. And on our side, we provide a lot of some tools and product features which provide some support and some tips for novice investor and newbies who never have some never had some investing experience. And it's really important because investing, it's not so easy story, and you need to provide support, and you need to reduce some risks for this audience. And if you do that, you will have some success on this market.
Yes, especially leverage the brand and trust to the bank. It will also open the possibility for this micro investor. So as I understand from your answers, it's the new group of the customers that could start to use banking products which weren't involved previously in this cooperation with the bank. So it's not like shifting from deposit to another alternative products. It's just additional clients which can use new banking products.
Absolutely. We talk not about switch, we talk about new money in banking infrastructure, because customer can deploy this money in deposit, and also they still have, if we talk about Uzbekistan, they still have some cash, and we provide some additional way to take this cash and deploy this cash in banking infrastructure. And if we talk about customer audience, it's again opportunity to take new customer base in the one hand, and in the other hand, you can provide additional product for your exciting customer base here.
Thank you, Denis. Thank you for your answers.
Yeah.
So let's switch to Tigran. And let's speak a little bit about the venture arms of the banks. So we all know that you're very deeply involved in this activity, and you help to build several venture arms for different banks. It's a little bit unusual if we will take a look to other countries that banks created their venture arms. Personally, I believe that it's a very good story, which started here in Uzbekistan. So could you please describe a little bit more why it's necessary for the bank to have its own venture arm?
Okay, thank you for your question. So, as it was mentioned before, banks face the same dilemma to build, to partner, or to buy the product, right? And the corporate venture arm actually covers all these three aspects. You can invest in early stage technologies, integrate them, pilot them into the banking system, adapt them, and scale if the product fits your banking strategy. And what else? Integrating the systems helps you to speed up the transformation and adjust your strategy in real time. That's why it's a good point to have a corporate venture arm.
Yes, thank you for the answer. Today in the morning, Sarwarbek from the Ministry of Digital Technologies highlighted one of the gap that Uzbekistan has. It's a lack of the startups. And I believe this is also could be one of the reasons to establish the venture fund to increase,
speed up,
to
yes.
speed up because it's also one of the strategy of transforming the bank through innovations. Because what are you building? I really like because you build the whole flow, starting from hackathons and its accelerators and venture fund invest and implement inside of the bank, and then probably vendor will do an acquisition of it. So the whole story. So could you please share some information regarding the data statistic of the in Uzbekistan related to venture capital and startups with the banks that you were involved to work with?
So regarding the statistics, so we can refer to our venture fund, right?
Yeah, yes,
The
please.
SKB venture. We have allocated over $1 million this year. We are a new venture fund, so we launched the fund in June this year. And why we are working on making hackathons, acceleration programs. The acceleration program we are planning to make with the Platma, because it will help us to integrate the startups more quickly to the banking system, adapt them, and what was the question? The last one?
Yeah, just, regarding the uh, kind of results, and so you just mentioned that you invested.
And one more thing, that the problem why we are making the acceleration, we're planning to make the acceleration program together, because the problem that the banks have right now in Uzbekistan is that they are still treating the fintech startups like as a vendors. There is a long process of procurement processes, and that's why the integration processes are long. That's why we cannot implement the startups well.
So, continue your answer. What is the bottleneck which do not allow fintech startups growing fast within banking sector? Do you see such problems inside the industry?
Yeah, as I said, the banks treat the startups as the vendors, so that's why the procurements processes are long, and the legacy systems they're not ready to implement the startups fast enough. The integration takes months.
And do you see how to solve this problem, because it's critical?
To make more like environmental sandboxes where we can check startups, we can implement them, adjust them. This is one of the reasons to make hackathons and acceleration programs.
Super, super, super. We will have today one very important announcement that we already established with SQB Ventures, which will help to break through these problems that we just highlight with Tigran. It will be an accelerating program, but we will discuss it.
It was a secret, right?
It was a secret, but in 10 minutes it will not be. Yes, yes, please, Igor. Yeah.
I mean, just from the perspective, it reminded me of one story with, most of the banks would like to introduce fintechs into their environment, and they have the issues with procurement and so on. So they created these sandboxes, as you say. And my experience with this is it's also problematic, because what fintech will create a sandbox, there will be a proper fintech even selected, and then the breaking point will be integration with the legacy provider. And we see this many times that banks come with super nice ideas, and the fintech who's really working maybe has not been proven, but then everything fails in production. Nobody can integrate this, and we see this as a major flop. What we've been suggesting to the banks, introduce this also through partners to whom you work already, with IT vendors who are already in the bank. Connect them to the fintechs. Because we've been, let's say, working with some of the fintechs, like we now work with Platma, to introduce this in more natural way, because the final goal is to put something in production in front of the customers, not to have something in the sandbox forever. I'm not saying this shouldn't happen, should happen, but it has to be connected, and bearing in mind that it has to go to production one day, because the system who is not in production is not worth of having. So just bearing that in mind, that sandbox is not so, but also connecting with real people in the bank, and keeping in mind that it has to be integrated with existing systems, which have to be, so they have to also be brought for a discussion. This is our experience so far.
Yeah, thank you, Igor. And this is Platma strategy, by the way.
Okay. I'm telling this from personal experience of being involved in some of the projects that failed, unfortunately, because of this.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely agree. Yes, Maxim.
Maybe a little bit switch in Russian and also add interesting information. Мы должны понимать и банки в том числе. Банки имеют доступ к sensitive информации о клиенте. Банки платят огромные деньги, чтобы получить лицензии. Банки напрямую отвечают перед государством, национальным банком. Их риски несоизмеримы с рисками инноваций, которые там могут прийти и действовать. С другой стороны, банки понимают, что без инноваций это невозможно. Там 20 лет назад даже никто и подумать не мог, что банк окажется в телефоне, и в принципе, то есть все уже действия можно делать в телефоне. Вопрос в том, что как раз вот отличная панельная дискуссия с точки зрения того, что у нас здесь есть разные направления, в принципе, в финтехе, которые, по большому счету, если будут объединяться, там, благодаря венчурному плечу и сэндбоксу, благодаря интеграторам, которые уже хорошо знают банкиров и понимают, как с ними взаимодействовать, потому что с банкирами нужно годы и годы понять, как они взаимодействуют. У них есть правила, по которым они играют и взаимодействуют. Также есть гики-стартапы, которые хотят менять мир и хотят делать инновационные проекты. И тут очень важно, что в IT не должно быть конкуренции, и в банке конкуренция, а должна быть именно форма кооперации, где может произойти вин-вин. И вот как раз финтех и IT и банки — это прекрасный показатель того, что здесь могут быть вин-вин истории, где если ты создаешь ценности, ты на одном языке говоришь с традиционным банком, который зарегулирован, с интегратором, который знает, как с ним взаимодействовать, и, скажем так, IT-гигами, которые меняют мир, то в принципе это все очень хорошо дает толчок изменений, потому что, давайте будем честными, банки, в принципе, всегда на острие каких-то цифровых изменений. Потом уже идет ритейл, медицина и так далее. Банки всегда создают новые пользовательские привычки, потому что они держат самое большое, самое ценное, то есть это наши деньги, кошельки и счета. И, соответственно, как только они какие-то фичи запускают, они же, в принципе, проталкивают их как инновации вперед.
Thank you, Maxim. Thank you. We are running out of the time, so I believe this is the very important input that you just added. And thank you, everyone, for your insights and amazing conversation. Let's have a photo, and then we will shift to the next part of the conference.
Great. Hello? Yeah, great. So you can hear me now well. We are at our final part, finishing soon. And here we have few very important topics. Yeah, yeah, giving to everyone MacBooks. Yeah. This was the exam you passed. Thank you. But previously, this week, on this Sunday, it was the final of SQB Ventures Hackathon. It was a huge participation, and there are three teams that managed to take first, second, and third place. And our partners ASSE from ASECO Group, they will grant also prizes to the winners. And more that I would like to say that winners that passed through the hackathon will also be invited to the SQB Accelerator. It will be one of the most powerful fintech accelerators that would be, because it will be powered by SQB Bank, SQB Ventures, and Platma. And with ASECO help, we will present to the winners. Let me introduce Tigran. Tigran, CEO SQB Ventures. He will tell us about the hackathon and also about the teams, and he will invite teams. Igor. Yeah, Igor, CEO of ASSE, he will grant the presents to the participants. Thank you.
Я думаю, что уже тут все остались те, которые понимают на русском языке. Команды, у нас был хакатон, он прошел 9 ноября. достаточно сильные команды. Было 3 направления: финтех, AI и небанковские продукты. В партнерстве как раз-таки с АСЭК мы решили дополнительные сделать подарки для ребят, которые выиграли. Первая команда, наверное, это будет Redeem. Да, давайте встретим основателя. Да, первое место. Да, да, первое место. Чуть-чуть расскажи. Стартап.
We are fuel finance system platform for fuel station and corporate companies. Ну, мы не банковская система. Мы делаем онлайн топливные карты для корпоративных компаний, дистрибьюторов, логистов и остальных как бы производителей. Коннектируем, то есть коннектируем корпоративные карты с заправками. У нас больше 300 заправок по всей Республике Узбекистан, которые подключены к нашей системе. И корпоративные клиенты могут отправлять там, то есть составляя договор с нами, получать доступ ко всем этим заправкам, и их водители могут с легкостью оплачивать через наше приложение, заходя в заправку. Вот так.
Второе место Минтериум. Да, прошу вас на сцену.
Всем добрый день, меня зовут Рахима, команда Mentorium. Мы строим, we are building fully gamified AI educational platform for kids, where we educate them through AI to build different tools. We have different videos implemented and games and tests. It is fully available with the ML engine and with AI. There are different avatars, coins, dashboard that makes their path pretty interesting and fully available in different languages like Russian, Uzbek, and English. Moreover, kids can choose their avatar, and the avatar will teach them different lessons and so on. So we are trying to provide full personalization for the kid. So the whole road would be pretty interesting and exciting for them.
Okay, very nice.
Thank you.
И третий стартап — это Historia.
Hello everyone. My name is Abdul Rashid, co-founder of Historia. We are building AI voice agent for doctors to save their time on paperwork.
Okay, very good.
Till now we have reached around 50 clients, 50 doctors and 50 clinics. We are working in B2B SaaS. In the further plans, we are expanding to Germany and Kazakhstan from the next year on.
Okay. Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. So here is your reward.
Thanks so much.
Can I just one word about
Yeah, if it's okay. Just very interesting. Thank you guys for the startups because I will connect one to the other, and I will start from the last one. My father and mother were doctors, so I know how much they do the paperwork, and this was terrible. So really, there is a lot of, to my opinion, space in this area to relieve. And most of the doctors today, they write, they book, and they don't talk to the patients. So I think this is a well developed area, to the developed area. Then I will also connect to the education. I was recently in Amsterdam on one of conferences, and there was a lady from US. She's a teacher, and she's building similar platform to as these guys are doing. And she told me one remarkable thing which we are all aware. There are no teachers in the world. There are less and less teachers in the world because nobody wants to do the teaching anymore. So these kind of platforms have a huge space. She told me, the lady in US, she told me that by the click on the fingers, she can raise 10 million US dollars instantly for such a platforms, very easily. Very easily. No, really, I was amazed. And the last for the gas stations, I will tell you, we also use this for the gas stations in Croatia, and many times it's kind of personal. We think it's for us, but no, it's for the accounting, because our CFO, he gives us these cards and say, use these fucking cards because it's important for me because I have a headache of handling, different cards. So this automatically lands in my accounting, and this is hassle-free. So they are the promoters of this, and this is well accepted on the market. So all three ideas, I mean, you're bulletproof. This is like, you can set up a company tomorrow, and you already did, yeah. So I think it's major success. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Yaroslav will going to say something about one huge project that will be soon. It's about SQB accelerator, right?
Yes, thank you, Anar, but I need Tigranaka as well.
Tigran.
Yeah. So, colleagues, during this previous panel, we discussed how venture funds could help banks to do their transformation with innovation. And there is a flow, very important flow, that we helping SQB Venture to develop here in Uzbekistan. We absolutely agree that it is necessary to grow innovation through startups, but we should create it in a very useful way. So we believe that we have to start from hackathons, like we already did. By the way, I know that ASE has good experience in hackathons, and even some of the companies were acquired which established during the hackathons. So it's a proven model. So we started from hackathons, then we shifted teams to accelerator, which we would like to announce right now that we, together Platma and SQB Venture, will launch in the nearest day accelerating program. We already shaped everything, and the winners of the hackathon already invited there. The idea is to create within the accelerator this sandbox and opportunity for the teams to implement their products inside of the bank. And after that, venture fund will invest the best of them which prove their concept. And the next step could be, like we discussed, investment or acquisition from vendor and so on and so on. Not only we are talking about us as SECO, but other companies as well. So I'm very happy that we were involved in this project, and we'll do the best to deliver as much as possible to make.
And we will try to do the best as well.
Yeah, to make this country innovative and help youth to transform their inner energy and knowledge into something very interesting, which will generate as much as possible effectiveness for the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Let the story begin.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And now we have to sign a agreement with our partners, ASSE. So Platma and ASSE, the part of ASSECO group, now will make an agreement of partnership. For real, like as I see, we are friends for a long time, but now in Uzbekistan, for Uzbekistan, we need to sign it officially with flags. all know that it's important. So Igor, CEO, Yaroslav, our director, please come here, take your places, and yeah, it's official.
I haven't done this in my life.
So you're here and here. His is here.
Work with the bank, we foresee that there is a gap of some of solutions inside the bank, which do not allow Platma show the whole magic that Platma can deliver. So in this way, we need such a partnership, which will bring fast this value to the bank. So basically, we already started. Now we have official agreements. So we will deliver results very soon. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody. Yes, thank you.
Great.
Usually like this, and yes, or we can open it. Вот так здесь.
Banks of the future, but we sign with the paper, right? Right? Okay. So, by the way, who loves the football? There is a championship between banks, if you know, and on 23rd of November there will be a grand final of the banks championship. Hayat Bank vs Orient Finance Bank at 1 p.m. On Stadium Jar. Everyone is invited freely, so if you like football, please be there. Also, so we now finished, and just closing remarks from our partners that started all this event, that invited all of you there, that were through all the event, whole day with you. Euro-Uz, Platma and ASSE, please.
We realized that we did not yet present a certificate of membership.
Yeah. Flags, certificates.
So you've been a member for some time already now. Yes. So we're very happy to present you a certificate of membership and groups.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
Yes. ASSE is a part of ASSECO Group, is a member of Euro-Uz. It's really important.
Certain inauguration process. So this is a EU-Uzbekistan flag together with a little logo of Euro-Uz. It is well recognized in Uzbekistan now. Whenever you go to a meeting, people know that you are a member.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
And this is the closest thing I can offer to European passport. This is a Euro-Uz passport.
Excellent. Very nice.
So, yes.
It has validity date.
Yeah, it's no validity.
For life.
Over 20,000 euros.
Passports are granted. No, Euro passport. So, please, everyone, your closing remarks, Mr. Obek. Will you start, please?
I didn't realize about that, but thank you for. I mean, the partnership was, in my view, between organizations is also quite good. The fact that there is the interest in this sector. It's the second event that we do together with ASSE, with the group. Platma, of course, is a new member for us also, and yeah, for me it's important that we can get people together. Today, the event showed that we have a lot of people who are interested in the new products, but also the balance. So you can see the Euros is a community of 157 companies, almost 159. We are the biggest international association in Uzbekistan today. And I'm very happy to say that it's a partnership which will continue. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rubik. Then, Yaroslav.
Thank you, Anar. I also would like to say thank you for the audience that you came this day to this conference, and we have amazing discussions thinking about how the future Bank of the Future will looks like and how it will influence positively the Uzbekistan economy. And also I would like to say thank you for all the speakers who find the time to have this conversation with other stakeholders. I'm really thankful for our ASE partners, and more than partners, it's real friends, and thankful for Europe-Uz because you did everything in the best way. So it was amazing. You help us. I even cannot explain how much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Yaroslav. And now the final words to Igor, CEO of. One more time.
Thank you everybody for coming. I don't have any more words. I really believe there is a lot of potential and success in this country. Really, I was amazed. This is my first time in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent. I like it. I'm not impressed by the things which I can see in other parts of the Europe. I'm impressed by people and the openness and so on. So this is very important. So don't fake it. It's if you are a genuine, real you like this would be a major success, to my opinion. So that's my final word. So thank you.
Great. And so I'm glad to see that we finished. Thank you to everyone. It was really interesting, and I hope everyone liked the conference. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Anar.